Yo, what is up, Kings? I wanted to discuss the H1B visa situation. It's been a while since I have discussed anything to do with Trump or Elon Musk or anything of that nature. I spent, during the lead up and immediately following the election, I did put out my thoughts pretty clearly. And so I wanted to kind of steer away because, to tell you guys the truth, these videos do not do me any favors. There are, obviously Trump won, there are still a ton of Trump supporters that anything that is said mirroring in any way criticism gets looked down upon. And I have said time and time again that I don't dislike Trump as a guy. I'm not some ridiculous leftist that, can't stand him personally and all that. My main gripes are simply that, or information that I am trying to point out is simply that the Trump that existed in 2016 no longer exists, or at least the promises that were made. And if he won, and when he did win, I said, you will be getting something different. And a lot of people wanted to live in delusion land about that. Now, Trump is not in office yet. It kind of seems like he is, but he's not. He'll be in office January 20th, which I believe actually is MLK Day. But let's talk about the H1B visas, okay? So let me start here. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys why I haven't discussed it in a little while. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't really interest me a ton, especially considering what I have seen, the delusion that people live in with regards to this topic. But I still have had the courage to put it out there and go against the grain with it. Kanye West says it's not that he wasn't right, it's just he wasn't right at the right time. Anyways, these people that operate behind the scenes, I have said this time and time again, the Elon Musks of the world, the Vivek Ramaswamy, Vivek, while he is considered a politician now, this dude is more in the lane of a Donald Trump or a Elon Musk, in that he made a lot of his money and gained a lot of his notoriety from his success in the business world. If you don't think that these people do not have their own agendas, their own individual points of view and motivations to do what they do, then you're sadly mistaken. At the core of politics, that is what politics is. It's us versus them, but it's also either expressing your power to benefit your interests or gaining said power in order to express your interests. That is what politics is. And I've said many times, to me, it is insane that, especially like in America, in the West, I don't know if it's like some sort of delusion of some sort, or propaganda or manipulation. It probably is. But there's a ton of people in the West that believe when they watch television that it's not crazy that so-and-so does this crazy thing, or so-and-so does this crazy thing. When you see spies or these various things going on, they don't find it crazy because it's on TV. So they understand the concept. But when it comes to real life politics, there's many people who think that our politicians absolutely try to act in our best interests 100% of the time, no matter what. It's insane. I don't understand it. I really, really do not. A lot of people, in other words, naively believe that people like Elon or politicians in general are, generally speaking, trying to do what's best for the people, especially in a democracy. And I think that in and of itself is the lie and the deception that is democracy. Okay? We live in a fallen world. By the way, guys, I don't know if you've ever driven, well, obviously you guys have, or ever noticed this, and my grandpa is like one of these guys where you have people who walk in the parking lot and act like they are the only people that exist. And they kind of like arrogantly take on the persona of, well, it's a, I can walk wherever I damn well please. It's up to you to avoid me and see me. And it's like, okay, technically speaking, that's true, but you should also try to be mindful and try and be tactful and intelligent about your surroundings. But anyways, I digress. But we live in a fallen world, guys. People are going to have selfish intentions, especially people who have a lot of power, okay? It's hard for them not to. And in total fairness, if I was in that position, it'd be hard for me not to as well. I'm not saying necessarily that they're evil for doing so. I'm just saying that is what it is. I'm not making an ought claim. I'm making a is claim. So Elon Musk specifically, I think a lot of conservatives naively believe that he is on our side, especially with his acquisition of X, or formerly known as Twitter. But guys, he's not. What he cares about above all else is his own interests, his business interests, his empire, and whatever wagon he can hitch himself to that will assist him in acquiring more power or winning more battles in whatever world he is in. That is what he is going to do. That is what he is going to do. Elon Musk is a businessman, and the conservative movement, especially in this current day and age, the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, it is ripe for people to attach themselves onto it and co-opt the movement. We see it from thoughts. We see it from, former OnlyFriends girls, quitting to saying that they're now a tradcon conservative. I mean, we see it all over the place. Because I think a lot of conservatives are ashamed of being conservative, and because it's not the dominant viewpoint in the West. And I think they want to have, even though they may not admit it, and it's not all, but it's definitely some, who they want people with notoriety to attach themselves to conservatism. And they don't want to be seen as hypercritical, like it's all for nothing, and all their viewpoints don't have an ends to justify the means. And so they are overly welcoming to people like Elon Musk, and they're overly ambitious in their assumption that they are being genuine in coming over to conservatism. Elon Musk is not a conservative, guys. He's not. He's not a Christian. He is not a traditionalist. Okay? This guy is a mechanical nerd that has vast business interests, and he will do what is needed for those businesses. Plain and simple. There's actually a word for a technocrat. He is a technocrat, okay? He wants to move the world, specifically the West, because the West is closest to this sort of world, to a digital technological age, okay? He is the guy that wants to put chips in people's brains, and I haven't necessarily looked too much into that as far as like why he thinks that's a good thing, but he is a technocrat. Plain and simple. If you are a Christian, Elon Musk is not on your side. He may say things here or there that may get you, like, he talks about how the birth rate is declining and things like that. He may say things here or there that might get you momentarily to think, oh, well, Elon Musk is based. He gets it. But again, most of this is either said as part of the game to get you to like him as a conservative, or as a direct attachment to his goals as an influencer, as somebody who is trying to express his power across the world. So the whole H1B situation is a part of that. That is why he attached himself to Trump. He attached himself to Trump because he sees that as the easiest pathway to get some of his business goals accomplished. That's why he attached himself to Argentina's Afuera guy, okay? Because they have a natural resource, lithium, I believe, that can be extracted as a natural resource from that area. He is attaching himself to the people that he thinks will be the best and easiest pathway towards business success for his interests. And H1B is another example of that. He wants cheap labor because think about it, guys. If you get somebody from another country that is over here on an H1B, especially if they have been here for a few years, they've started a family, they've bought a house, they are really immersing themselves in the culture, which is not a bad thing. That is what we want if we do have immigration. But it is a form of treacherous labor because at any moment the company can say, nope, you're done, and they have to go straight back to their country. That is what an H-1B visa is. Once you no longer have the job that you have in America or the West, you go straight back. And in turn, it drives wages down. And I know that they keep trying to say that this is for the jobs that Americans and Westerners don't want to do and don't do. But we have been hearing that lie for years, guys. We've been hearing that lie for years. It's false. It is absolutely false. And all it does is drives wages down. And realistically, that is not what he wants the top 0.0001% of foreigners from those foreign nations to come over here for. No, he wants them for his technological jobs, to pay them less. That is one of the downsides of a capitalistic society, is all these businesses are constantly striving for growth. They're constantly striving for ways that they can diminish their expenses in order to have more revenue. Now, I'm not saying in and of itself capitalism is bad. I would never say that. I do think by and large it's one of the best systems. I am merely just saying that it is one of the downsides. you don't have a ton of protection if you are not one of the individuals who owns said business. That's why I said a while back, and a lot of people who consider themselves conservatives or Republicans disagree with me, but and this is probably one of the biggest things that I've changed my mind on from 18 years old onward, is I would be okay with a universal basic income, because I see where the money from the government is going, which is not to its American citizens. And if that money is going to be spent for what things that I consider bullshit anyways, I would rather find a way to give it back to the American citizens in some way, shape, or form. I would. I would be okay with having that money funneled to productive members of society. And I do think in a certain way, you guys can check this video out on my channel, I do think it would also help with families, because if you have a family, and especially you're just starting out, you may not be as established as you will once be. It's a way for you to have income coming in and allow more freedom to have kids and stuff. Now, overall, I think a lot of people make excuses as to why they don't have children, because obviously the poorest among us are having the most children. But with UBI, I do think that a lot of families and mothers would be more capable of being stay-at-home moms, or being mothers just in general. On top of, if you have a UBI, you'd be able to maybe put that money more towards things that you actually want to do, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, because you have some money coming in. So many people aren't able to really go after their dreams, because if they don't work and spend that time towards working a dead-end job, they're homeless. So anyways, the H1B is a scam. It's a sham. I'm not surprised by it. Trump is going to continue to have this conflict. And this is the problem with why he said that he was going to do better at filling his cabinet, his administration. But in my estimation, he's only gotten worse. And I think Donald Trump Jr. has a lot to do with that as well. Donald, to me, not Jr., but the senior, whatever the fuck, more and more, I'm thinking that he wanted to win just to say that he won again. And he wants to leave a lasting legacy. But as far as Trump truly being interested in doing what's right for America and fulfilling his promises to the T or close to it, I don't think he's interested in that. And I would go as far to say that he's so disinterested in that he basically is okay saying to his children and to people close to him, I just want to get elected. Go and get me elected by any means possible. Whatever you got to do, whatever friendships, relationships you have to build, that's what needs to be done. So the H1B is bullshit. We need a complete halt on immigration. And immigration or suppressing immigration to America and in the West has never been more popular. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment. You guys know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy, Will. And facts are feelings, because your feelings just matter. I love you, King. See you guys next time. Christ is King. Peace.